What you're about to watch is the beginning of a journey down a rabbit hole where order and chaos collide, where shit just kind of happens, and where anything that can happen will happen in the most horrific way possible. You see, it all started about maybe 2-3 weeks ago, I think. I was feeling kind of off, and I didn't really know why. I mean, I didn't really feel motivated to do much of anything. Even playing video games wasn't something that I was excited to do. Whenever I tried to open up Premiere to edit a video, I just sat there because I just really didn't know what to make. I just didn't feel inspired, and that was really demotivating. It is clear to me now, though, that the stress of everything in my life probably got to me, and I was probably just really burnt out. So what are you gonna do when you're burnt out and not really motivated to do anything? Of course, you procrastinate on YouTube. That's the spirit. Well, while I was distracting myself on YouTube, I did notice something in my recommended that caught my eye. I click on the video and I watch it, and after a couple of minutes, I really like it. The video was about a game that kind of looked like it came straight out of RPG Maker, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't really play games like that. But how it was portrayed in the video really got me curious. So what I did was I looked up more related videos on it, and after I finished binge watching a bunch, I was like, damn, I kind of want to play this right now. The game is called Space Station 13, and apparently I shouldn't play it, according to people on Reddit. And honestly, that kind of made me want to play it more because of how mysterious it now seemed to be. So like any other person with a single brain cell, I look it up on Google and I click on this link. Now I'm on this website and it tells me to download Beyond in order to play Space Station 13. Okay, so I download the thing and it's like, what, 9 megabytes? Now after doing all of that, I had to go and choose one of the many servers that you can play on. I had no point of reference, so I just picked a random one with a decent population and hoped for the best. Well, after loading in for the first time, I was prompted to make a character, because you see, Space Station 13 is a role-playing game, meaning you can create and be whoever you want. But I was not committed, nor did I have the patience to do that, so I just rolled with a randomly generated character that they gave me and put robotic arms on him. Apparently, I was joining a round already in motion, so the only available jobs that I could apply for was to be a staff assistant. Now, the only thing I knew about staff assistants based on the videos that I watched is that my main responsibility is to 1, not to get in the way of anyone with a real job, and 2, not to block the hallways with my corpse after dying from something stupid. Once I was in the game, I gotta say my initial experience was a little jarring. I mean, there's this wall of text, the game looks like this, and I'm beginning to question what my expectations were. Someone also stuck a green sticker on my body that I didn't know how to remove, so that was nice of them. Anyway, I started to explore, and the experience was okay. I found a pool that I almost drowned in. Then I found a bar with other players, and that was kind of nice, but nothing was going on, so I left. I did learn how to pick up a crowbar, which I immediately used to kill a rat. Honestly, I spent most of my time walking around the halls trying to figure out what to do and having fun. It was at this point where my interest was beginning to wane, and I was feeling like maybe this isn't the game for me. I mean, I'm over here opening lockers because I don't know what else to do, and wandering hallways with no people in it. But in that moment, I hear a weird noise. And I know there's no one here, so I turn around and I see this guy running out of a room. I only caught a glimpse of him, but I do remember that he was in a room I was in before. So what do? Investigate the room, of course. So I walk into the room and look around. I don't notice anything weird, not that I would, but I do notice something blinking in the corner. I try to leave, but the doors are now fire locked. Now I'm on fire, and I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck am I gonna do? I barely know how to use the controls. How am I gonna stop, drop, and roll? And then I remember I put a med kit in my backpack, so I open that up, and I start putting burn patches on my burning body. And the game's like, you dumb bitch, that doesn't work. So after panic clicking on my screen, I eventually figure out how to roll my ass to the ground. It seemed to be working because the numbers under this fire icon was going down. But it was a little confusing because my body was now fully engulfed in flames and was no longer recognizable. To top it all off, this heart icon going into critical indicating my health wasn't a good sign either. I don't know, maybe it was all the rolling around or the fact that the explosion created multiple hull breaches, causing all the oxygen to be sucked out of the room, but at some point I was no longer on fire. Yeah, it wasn't looking good for me here. I am severely burned, I can't move, and I am struggling to breathe. Oh yeah, I can't see or hear anything either. Now I'm I'm just watching my character slowly die out, and I'm thinking to myself, I should probably stop playing now because, well, I'm gonna die and there's not really much I can do now. I mean, I was experiencing the 7 stages of grief right here, and I was fully accepting the fact that, yeah, I had a little fun, but I was ready to head out. And then I hear another weird noise. Now I'm thinking, what the fuck was that? And my attention is brought back to the game. I see a flicker of light, followed by a dude in a spacesuit. I don't know what's going on, but I watch as he discovers my body and realizes there's no oxygen in the room. I'm thinking he's gonna leave, right? But he actually starts to pull me out of there. Is he about to eject my ass off the ship, or am I actually being saved right now? I am burned to a crisp with 4th degree burns, and he is really just dragging me through the halls. I can hear my character gasping for air, but then for a split second, my vision comes back. And then I immediately lose consciousness. The spaceman drags me through the bar, and unsurprisingly, people don't give a shit. Everything goes black again, but this dude is committed to taking me up and down the halls to God knows where. I see pools of blood, followed by bloody footsteps. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna be dismembered by this guy. Plus, this sound effect plays, so if that didn't happen, I was gonna die any second now. My vision comes back, and I see a bunch of people stop to watch me get dragged by this guy down the hallway. But then one of them stops and says something. I can't understand because I'm unconscious. Whatever he said made the spaceman stop, and now this other guy is scanning my body. I don't know if this guy was a paramedic or what, but the spaceman lets go of me and they start talking. Apparently this guy injects him with something, and just like that, the spaceman walks away. Now I'm the one getting injected with something, and then this guy zaps me with a defibrillator. Okay, this guy is clearly trying to save my life, and I appreciate it, but I mean, I'm in the hallway and people keep walking over me. Some guy even comes up to me and farts in my damn face. I'm surprised that didn't immediately kill me, but even more surprised that this guy is really trying to save my life. I didn't think anybody would care if I died in this game. I mean, I'm just a random person, but this whole experience was pretty interesting. I was even starting to have a little fun. And then I died. Well, there goes that. Now that I was officially dead, there wasn't really much I could do. I could either quit or observe from an astral plane. But I waited to see if the guy just left me there. He appeared to be saying something. He was probably like, God damn it. Then he grabs my freshly deceased corpse and starts pulling me away. Apparently that wasn't efficient enough, so he stops, turns around, and picks my limp, lifeless body up off the ground and starts to run down the hall. This guy carries my body all the way to the medbay and then drops my body in front of one of the rooms. And when I say drop, I mean he throws my body out the door. He leaves, and now my body is just preoccupying this doorway. One of the doctors finally take notice of my burnt corpse, grab me, and then stuffs my body in a tank. 10 seconds later, and my camera refocuses. My health indicator goes from dead to critical, and that's when I realize, oh my god, I'm being revived. As a new player, I didn't know cloning was a thing, so this was mind-blowing to me. And I'm thinking this naked person is me? I wasn't sure. I thought that maybe my consciousness was being put into this man. But then he moves away, and I realize, oh wait, no, that's me in the tank right there. The entire cloning process took about 4 real-life minutes to complete, and when it was done, I came out that tank completely butt-naked, right down the halls. Did I care, though? Not really, because I was alive, and I was so happy that I got a second chance to play this game. This time, I was gonna play properly, learn the controls, and have myself some fun. First, I needed to get some clothes, and maybe find my backpack with all of my stuff. But then, some guy goes and grabs me. He pulls me along back through the medbay. I voice my confusion, and then without a word, he sticks me in another tube. After about a second, he pulls me out, injects me with something, and then dunks me back in. Listen, after everything that had happened to me up to this point, I assumed that this person was helping me too, so I said thanks. Then when I asked what was going on, he says, I'm gonna let your genes research. Sounds normal. Then he goes, I'm researching your genes for superpowers and activating them. Excuse me? At this moment right here is when I realized this game was pretty damn good. I'm still in this tank, right? And the scientist, I don't know his name, goes over my superpowers. He says that cold can't hurt me anymore, which I think is kind of cool. And then he says I can become others, like I can transform into other people. But then he says he can make me into the Hulk. And that's when I said, oh, nice. Green but strong. Okay, I mean, that's fine. I'll take super strength over being green. He wasn't kidding about being green, though. But I mean, that was fine. I mean, I did just come come back from the dead. So I was pretty chill about everything that was happening to me. Then he injects himself with a syringe, turns green, and then says, "I'm giving myself your powers, by the way." What are you gonna do with the powers, I ask. "Survive and kill, all in my way." Oh, I'm starting to realize that I'm being used for some devious plot, and I just say, I'll observe. Then he says, "Free genes at the gene booth, by the way." I don't know what that means. I hop out the tank, and he says, "I've been putting everything good there. Check it out, follow." And so I do. Still naked and slightly greener than I was before, and maybe even stronger too. Exactly how strong? I wasn't sure, but I was going to find out later. Anyways, I follow the scientist all the way to what appeared to be a reception area. He then goes and points to this thing. "This is where you get free genes from me." Suddenly, some green, bald-headed, lizard-tailed looking ass motherfucker pops out of that shit, so I knew he wasn't lying. I jump in after picking a random mutation, and it starts to make all of this noise. It took an entire minute for it to spit me back out, tell me I'm too broke and too mutated to be mutated further. So I was like, okay, I'm done with all this cloning and mutations and science bullshit. It was time for me to leave, find some clothes, and get on with my life. I go back to wandering the halls aimlessly and lost, like I was before. Nobody seemed to mind that I was green or naked. I somehow find myself in the command section of the ship, but nobody's around. Just a bunch of paint cans. Then, like the perfect coincidence, I notice a purple shirt on the other side of a desk. That is it. That is the shirt that I'm going to wear, so I could fully embody the Hulk. All I needed to do was somehow hop across, grab the shirt, and get out. Or just fucking break the whole thing. To be honest, I didn't realize how strong I was until this moment. I felt like a fucking super-powered baby with super strength. I didn't realize how strong I was. I grabbed the shirt and put that shit on. And now I am the Hulk. What am I gonna do now? Curiosity starts to settle in, and I'm thinking, I wonder how strong I really am. So then I started to bang on some walls and interact with more desks. I didn't want to attract any unwanted attention, so I relaxed, just acting casual, picking up pill bottles off the ground like a normal person. It was just a robot that passed by. It opened one of the doors next to me and then left. I took that as an opportunity to go in. I'm now in the room, and I feel drunk with power. I feel pretty invincible. So I do the thing that you never do in real life and on Space Station 13. I eat the floor pills. I actually eat all 3 floor pills. I don't know why. As soon as I do, I hear the door behind me open up. I turn around, and it's some guy. We have an uncomfortable stare-off for a couple of seconds. I move towards him, and then he backs away and leaves. I feel like I just got caught. I'm radiating with power. I'm green, and I just took 3 unknown pills. Without my input, my character starts to giggle. Oh no, it's coursing through my veins. I need to get away from here as fast as possible. That dude probably reported some suspicious activity. Oh, but look, I can't leave because the doors are shut and I don't have access to them. At this point, I'm panicking, so I start banging on the walls. And wouldn't you know, those shits break open. Holy shit. I think the drugs made me stronger. I'm rushing out of there. I see an opening and I book it. There is a security guard on the other side of the wall trying to enjoy his dinner, and he looks very confused. I run out of there as fast as possible, okay? I was just seen by a security guard. I'm just trying to live, so I just run. I book it. I don't know where, but I'm going. I make a sharp turn into a maintenance tunnel. But then I notice something weird at the end of it. What the fuck? It looks like a portal. It disappears, and then I notice 2 dudes in one of the rooms. One of them is a security guard, but the other one I wasn't quite sure. He looked like a scientist that was getting fucked up by one of the laser turrets. I didn't want to assume, so I just said, hey, what's going on here? They don't respond. Actually, they just start waving at me. I ask if they need any help, but it was clear that they were kind of busy getting shot. I ask if this was intentional or not, but again, no response. Then he somehow materializes another portal and teleports all over the room until he finally teleports behind me. The mystery person waves to me one last time and then runs down the maintenance hall. You would think I was confused, but no, I was just really curious now. So I started to punch the walls. I don't know what came over me. I was just really curious. I wanted to know why that guy was over there. So I don't recommend you do this. This was just me being a dumb idiot during my first round on Space Station 13. The laser turret kept shooting me, but I was super powered. I didn't feel a thing. I punched my way all the way to this weird blue circuit room. Before I could figure out what it was, my ass was lit up by a bunch of turrets in the room. I mean, each corner of the room had a turret, and they were all aimed at my ass. I knew I had superpowers, okay, but after a couple of shots, I couldn't even get up. It wasn't looking good. I probably pissed off whatever the fuck this was, and it was now unleashing its defense system on me. I'm over here on the floor writhing in pain, but luckily the turrets are kind of jank and keep missing me for some reason. When I do get up, I get shot in the face. I'm not dead, but I am unconscious. The moment I woke up, I ran out of there towards the exit. I make it out and my character throws up. I run down the maintenance tunnel, but there's a dude in green blocking my way. There is no way to go past him, so I'm forced to back up. Again, I'm new, so I don't know who this is. I play it cool and I just say, "Hey there." The game is slurring my words because the drug is taking over. "Excuse me, but what are you doing here?" they say. It didn't look like they knew what I did, so I just say I got lost. They don't respond and go straight for the turret room. I watch them inspect the room, so I take that as an opportunity for me to say, "I think I'm overdosing on something I ate off the floor," and I leave. There was another dude in the tunnel, but I pushed past him. I didn't care. I needed to leave. These drugs were wrecking my body. I needed to go back to the medbay. The most important thing I needed to do at this moment was to get myself to the medbay. All those pills I ate were really wrecking my body. I get to the medbay and look around to see if I can get some help. Then I walk straight into a wormhole. Now I have no idea where the fuck I am. Uh-oh. I think I'm in a maintenance closet or something like that. Just then, a dude teleports out of nowhere, and then another guy teleports. I think one of them is outside. I tried to get the door open, but I decided it was better if I just punched the walls. I was kind of in a hurry. My health was getting worse. But then I see this guy gasping on the floor, and then I remember the time when I almost died. So to pay it forward, I decide to bring him with me. I made sure not to walk into any more wormholes on my way to the medbay. On the way there, I collapse, and my health goes into critical. My vision starts to blur, and I am close to death. But I get up, and I continue pulling this guy along. Eventually, I make it to the medbay, vomit on myself, and then slip on my own puke. I lost my grip on the unconscious dude, but another good Samaritan picks him up and brings him in. Then the same medic who saved my life before finds me crying on the ground. They bring me in, scan my body, and then start patching me up. Man, that is the last time I swallowed pills off the floor. At this point, I'm feeling good. Still vomiting on myself, but pretty good. So good, in fact, that I thought that maybe I should get another mutation. Ooh, I wonder what this does, I thought. I picked one, jumped in, and waited to see what happened. I popped out of the gene booth, and the result was interesting. My skin was now capable of giving people seizures if you look too closely. I think it was time that I relaxed and slowed down a bit. Does anyone know where the bar is? I've had a day. All I wanted to know now was where the bar was. So now I'm just wandering around again like I always do. I enter one of these rooms and get flash banged at the door. I try getting up, but the moment I do, I get flashed again. My character throws up, and now I'm just lying in a pool of my own puke. I get up a second time and I try to leave. But I get flashed again. Now I'm just throwing up everywhere. A security guard sees this, grabs me, and aggressively pulls me away. I manage to find the bar, but something is wrong with my character. My vision is blurred and my character is involuntarily crying. I think those flashbangs really fucked me up. Or maybe I just have way too many mutations. I don't know. I honestly don't care anymore at this point, so I just try to order a drink. But all that comes out of my character's mouth is a whisper. Then my character collapses, face first in a pool of urine and shards of glass. My stats aren't looking too good either. I can't breathe, and I am in critical condition. Yeah, I think I pushed my luck with all of these mutations. My body was breaking down. Eventually, I regain consciousness. Now I'm trembling and shivering. Time to go back to my favorite place, the medbay. But before I left, I noticed a green alien-looking person on the ground. Then I remembered what the geneticist said, how I could turn into other people. So I turned into him. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. I was hoping maybe metamorphosis would help, but no, it didn't. From here on out, things would get progressively worse for me. I was helped by this one guy though. When he saw me on the ground, he stopped, pulled me, and dragged me all the way to the medbay. He then picked me up and then put me in one of these sleeper units. And then I was left there for a long time. After about 10 real-life minutes, the guy that dragged me here finally comes back, pulls me out, drags me across the floor, and then drops me near a group of other bodies. I'm thinking I'm gonna get cloned again, but then I hear this.
The escape shuttle has now arrived.
The guy helping me just leaves immediately after hearing the announcement. And so now I'm just there on the ground, slowly dying. After more waiting, someone eventually comes along and notices my body flopping on the ground. Instead of helping me, they throw me in a chute. I watch as they dump the other bodies in before they hit the eject button. My body, along with the other bodies, gets dispensed at the morgue. Then suddenly I hear this.
The escape shuttle has docked at Central Command.
And then I died.